acrobatics. Tail walking, love it. Well, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the next fishing adventure. In today's adventure, we're freshwater fishing. I'm hitting a lake that I haven't hit since last year. Had some good success here as far as catching good sized largemouth bass and a lot of white perch. What I'm hoping for today is maybe a couple of bass, and if the bass bite kind of starts shutting down, I'll start targeting pickerel and see if I can find some grass and see if I can get any pickerel. I have caught I think one or two maybe in my life. Earlier this year I went out with my buddy Jim to a small creek and I caught, I believe, just one, but it was tiny. I'm seeing if I can get up to my size a little bit here. This particular body of water is where I caught my personal best largemouth bass. It was an 8-pounder, 23 inches, and that was on ultralight gear, which was really interesting. But I'm excited about what today might bring, so stick around, see how we do. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right, so what I'm gonna do is make my way. I'm gonna start hitting these points over here. I'm starting off with the top water since it's early morning, see if I can get something on a top water bite, and then move on from there to probably a liftless crankbait and maybe some paddle tails. But we're starting off, like I said, with the top water. We'll see how that goes, and let's keep on moving here. I think it's gonna be a gorgeous morning. Okay, so I'm starting off with my little Spook Junior here. Really like this pattern. Got a little bit of shimmer to it. Good size. I mean, any size fish would eat this. And so I'm fishing this point. So this point, as you see the land there, it actually jets out here. I'm in 8 feet of water, but it gets shallow really quick over there with deeper water on both sides. Unlike my favorite bass pond that I like fishing, which the main forage over there is bluegill, and I think transitioning over into crappie right now, this lake has a large population of shad. So that is the main forage for the bass here. Of course, they will eat juvenile white perch, and they'll also eat, you know, bluegill, whatever else they come across. As a matter of fact, my personal best largemouth was on a bluegill pattern, soft plastic. But the majority of them, or the majority of their diet, consists of shad. So I'm sticking to things that are shad colors. So shad colors are going to be like the silvers and the shiny things and blacks and chromes. Today, the water at this particular lake for North Carolina is fairly clear. I think you have about maybe 2 or 3 feet of visibility, where normally we're looking at under a foot of visibility. So this lake bodes well to a little bit more sight fishing. You want to be more realistic colors as opposed to just silhouettes. Okay, so no luck with the top water. I only made a handful of casts. I'm just going to keep it moving here. So I'm going to try this square billed crankbait. It dives down to 5.5 feet, which is perfect. It's very shallow over there, but right now as I'm drifting, I'm in 9 feet of water, so I should be able to fish that whole point, keeping contact with the bottom as I come along till it gets to about 5.5 feet. The nice thing about these square bill crankbaits is that if they hit something like a rock or a log or whatever, they'll ricochet off to the side, which very often you'll get a bite just off of that little erratic move where it's swimming along pretty normal and then all of a sudden it hits something and it ricochets, and that little change in cadence will a lot of times elicit strikes. Oh, there's a hit. All right. Got the skunk off. All right, so maybe they don't want the surface lures. Little guy. He's feisty though. Where's my net? Oh, he's barely hooked. I might lose him. Come on, baby. There you go. Healthy little bass. Not the biggest bass, but he's been feeding pretty well. He's nice and healthy. Good specimen. So hopefully he'll get a chance to grow up and get bigger. So we'll get the hooks out and get a few pictures of him, get him back in the water. There you go. Maybe 11 inches, but look at that belly. He's eating good. So they're healthy fish in this lake. They definitely got plenty to eat on. All right, buddy, thank you for the fight. Look at that beautiful sunrise. Okay, off he goes. Okay, so starting off with these points subsurface, that's the way to go. I hope you guys can see this in the low light. You see, like I was talking about shad patterns. So I got the black back with the white, a little bit of chartreuse, so while it's wobbly, you get that little bit of flash. So I'm talking about the square bill. When it hits something, it tends to ricochet off to the side like that. I think that's a fish. I mean, he hit as soon as it hit the water. I didn't think I had a fish. I thought it was on the bottom. Oh, heck yeah. This is a much better fish, too. You want to come up and show yourself for the folks? Ooh, he is digging. There he is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a nice bass. Oh, that's a nice bass. He is just barely hooked. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, a little closer, baby. He's so strong, I can't even get the rod back. There we go. All right, he is caught. He's not going anywhere. Let's get a little more line up. There we go. All right, baby. Very nice. Now that is a largemouth bass right there. Heck yeah. All right, let's get some hooks out of him and get some pictures of him. Get him back in the water. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, this guy's worthy of measuring. (18 inches. 18 inches. Okay. See that belly? How it's a little concave there? Definitely post spawn late in the summer here, but they're going to be fattening up right now for the winter. So that belly's going to be full in about a month. They're going to be feeding on these shad and bluegill. I'm going to get some pictures of them and then we'll get them back in the water. Okay, got a few pictures of them. Ah, look at that mouth. That's a nice healthy fish right there. Give him a moment to recover. Off he goes. That was awesome. You know, it's really shallow where that point is over there, and as soon as the lure hit the water, it started to retrieve and it just hit something. I thought it was a rock and it didn't seem to move until it kind of wiggled a little bit. I kept on retrieving and still was in doubt. It took me a second or two to figure out that I actually had a fish on. Oh, a bald eagle. Oh, I wish that showed up on camera for you guys. Wow, he was actually on the ground. That's cool. There's that bald eagle. I don't know. Ooh, there's a hit. No, not sure how well you guys can see that on camera, but come on, baby. He's not very big. At least he's not fighting like he's big. Oh no, he's the smallest one of the day so far. But again, that square bill is paying off. Little guy. But I'm gonna fish the shoreline right here. I've had good success here. I know that the shad will kind of school up in here and the bass will feed off of him. You know, he's tiny. He's maybe 10 inches long, so he's not even really worth measuring. But he's healthy. He's fatter than the big one I caught. I mean, he's been eating good. Okay, young sir. Thank you for the fight. Get off. Let go. Let go. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to turn the boat around and we're going to fish parallel to this bank. So I just snagged someone else's fishing line, so I'm going to do my best to clear as much of this stuff out of the environment as I can. You know, this line here is a heavy line too. It's probably about 20-pound mono. So to protect myself, I'm just going to wrap it around this towel. Use the towel as leverage. There we go. All right. We have 15 feet of line there, maybe 10 feet, I don't know, but all that out of the environment. That's pretty cool. So hopefully the fishing gods will look upon me favorably and say, you helped out, I'll help you out. We'll see. We've had a good day so far already. I can't really complain. I had literally just anchored out and it was my first cast. So what I did is I left the anchor back over there. I have that quick release where I can disconnect from the anchor in case I'm fighting a big fish or a big boat goes by and there's a big wake, and really important safety issue more than anything, that if you do not want to be in a kayak, you don't want to be anchored to the bottom with no way of getting loose, because you're basically tied to that bottom. If that surface changes, you end up bouncing around. It can be very, very dangerous. You tip over, you can get swamped, all different kinds of things can happen. And it's very easy to avoid. Just have an anchor that you can disconnect like that, a little float on top so you can find your line, your anchor line, and you're right back to where I started. Snagged on another one of these sticks, but there's a ton of fishing line on here, so we're just going to clean this stuff up. Don't want that in the water. It gets wrapped around ducks and fish and turtles. Not good stuff. There we go. And there we go. Alright, so more line out of the water, and I get a free weight out of it. Throw that with the rest of the garbage. Alright, Boy Scouts done a couple good deeds today already. That's awesome. Alright, little fish on. What do I got here? I think it's a little bass. Yep. Smallest guy of the day. He took the little curly tail. Everything is little curly tails. He's pretty. I mean, just a miniature version of a grown one. Look at the little spots up on the top, little pattern up here. Really, really cool. Cute little guy. Really, really pretty fish. Okay, little guy, thank you for the fight. Off you go, be safe. Yeah, I cast, I mean, as soon as it hit the water, he was on it. There's probably a bunch more little guys like that. Well, that's 4 fish on a boat, and a 5th one jumped. Not bad. Now, I don't know if we should count that last guy. I don't know if he really counts. He's definitely not a keeper, obviously. But, I mean, fish on a boat. Had some fun with him. He jumped a few times. Another one. Oh, he spit it. There's a bite. Got him. What is that? Oh, that's a bass. Almost looked like a rainbow trout for a second there. He just figured out he's hooked. Okay. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Come on, he doesn't like the net. There we go, buddy. Yeah. I mean, he barely hit. I mean, he hit super light. Oh, he's skinny. You gotta fatten up, buddy, before the winter comes. It's about a foot, maybe 13 inches. You gotta get some food in you. Alright, get some pictures, get him back in the water. Okay, sir, go fatten up. Thank you for the fight. The next one will be a meal for you. Alright. He just figured out he was free. Alright. Water's a hit. Oh, I missed him. He's still on it though. He stayed on it. This is what I thought I was going to be catching. Little dinkers. A little bigger than that last dinker. There you go. Yeah, about the same size as that last little dinker, but okay, we'll take it. Okay, sir, thank you for the fight. Off he goes. All right. I found a little pattern here. I don't think I'm getting any monsters out of it, but you never know. You guys can see how shallow this is. We see all these little potholes. Those are just beds, bluegill beds. This is where they all come up here to spawn and lay all their eggs. I watched this little guy come after it, kept missing, and he finally nailed it. There was actually 2 of them. There's another one in there too. This one's the bigger of the 2. I actually got to see them both chasing and missing, swiping and swiping. I felt them bumping. Ooh, he was not getting off. Boy, I'll tell you, these eagle clawed jig heads are amazing. Great quality for the price. I mean, he's not a monster obviously, but he's fun, especially on this light gear. Okay, thank you for the fight. Off he goes. Fish on. He hit as soon as that lure hit the water. This is a good fish. This is a good fish. Yeah, as soon as it hit the water, he hit. Come on, baby, stay. Okay, he's still on there. Oh, come on, baby, stay stuck right on the top of the lip. Perfect. Oh, that's a healthy fish. Nice. Very nice. Heck yeah. Get him up. That is what we came here for. That's a nice bass. Okay, baby, thank you for the fight. Off he goes. Okay, we're gonna start working our way back. We're currently in 7 feet of water. I'm gonna have that crankbait that dives down to 8 feet trailing behind us. So we're just gonna troll all the way back. Let's stay right at about the 10-foot mark, 9 to 10-foot mark, heading back. I just gotta get off this flat. Since we're quite a ways away from the shoreline, it's still really shallow. I was just talking to these gentlemen as I was trolling back and caught this really nice crappie here. This is a good sized crappie. Let's get a few pictures of him and get him back in the water. All right, off he goes. There he goes. Nice. But yeah, it was funny. I was just kind of paddling by talking to these guys and I felt the pull. I thought it was the bottom. And then it kind of did a head shake and I realized, oh wait, that's fish. All right, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm gonna head on home. It's been a good 6 hours of fishing today. The nice thing is it's a weekday. Today's a Friday. A lot of people are still at work, so there's not a lot of boat traffic on the water. It's one of the reasons I love coming out here on the weekdays. Started off hot, tapered off a little bit, but finished strong, and that crappie was just a nice little bonus on top of everything. Can't catch anything if you don't have a line on the water, so I figured while I'm heading back and I'm going at about trolling speed, might as well have a lure in the water, right? But that was a whole lot of fun. I had a blast today. Definitely gonna have to come back. I can't believe I went almost over a year since last time coming to this lake. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you on the next fishing adventure.